At the edge of a valley stood a door with no wall around it. It was taller than a man, made of dark wood, with a brass handle polished by hands that had failed to turn it. Behind it was grass, and in front of it was the road. Still, every traveler stopped, because one rule was carved into the threshold. It opens only backward. The villagers hated that sentence. They measured progress by how far a person could walk without looking behind. They built new roofs over cracked beams and renamed streets where old arguments had happened. When children asked what the door meant, adults called it a joke from poor ancestors. The first person to take the door seriously was a merchant named Tavin. He sold bright cloth and spoke as if every road had been built for him. After losing a pouch of silver, he decided the door hid a shortcut to the thief. Tavin pulled the brass handle forward until his palms burned. The door did not move. He kicked it, cursed it, and promised to replace it. That night, his own shop door would not open. The lock was fine, the hinges were fine, and the key turned smoothly. But the door stayed shut while customers laughed outside. A child pointed toward the valley and said, "Perhaps your door learned from the old one." Tavin did not laugh. He walked back at dusk with a lantern and a hammer. Before he could strike, the old door whispered from its dry boards, "Not forward." Tavin looked around, but the road was empty. He tried pushing from behind, pulling from the side, and stepping through the empty space. Nothing happened. At last, tired and angry, he leaned his forehead against the wood. "I paid less than I promised," he muttered. The words had been waiting longer than he had. 3 winters earlier, a weaver had sold him cloth during a hungry month. Tavin praised the work, took the bolts, and paid with coins clipped thin at the edges. She noticed, but her son needed bread, so she said nothing. The memory opened behind him like a cold room. The old door gave one quiet click. Tavin stepped back. The door did not swing forward. It opened behind him into the afternoon he had tried to bury. There stood the weaver, holding the thin coins, too tired even for anger. Tavin could not enter the memory, but he could speak into it. "I will repay you," he said. The next morning, his shop door opened before sunrise. On the counter lay the missing pouch, not stolen, only forgotten beneath folded cloth. Tavin carried half the pouch to the weaver's house. By noon, everyone knew, and the village became quieter. For 3 days, nobody visited the valley door. On the 4th day, the baker went. Years before, she had blamed smoke on a neighbor's oven, though the fire began in her own ash pit. The door opened behind her into a night of orange light and shouting. She returned with tears on her face, then repaired the neighbor's roof before sunset. After that, the door became busy. A brother returned a field boundary stone. A schoolmaster corrected an old prize record. A bride carried a letter she should have delivered before the wedding. The road filled with people walking slowly, trying not to look afraid. But not every person came back softer. Some heard nothing and said it was broken. Some heard everything and called it wind. Some dragged others there, but the door only answered the hand on the handle. Then the mayor came. He had a gentle voice and pockets full of other people's permissions. He said the door was useful, but disorderly. A town cannot be ruled by private memories, he announced. He ordered a fence, a clerk, and a schedule. The clerk was told to write who entered and what they confessed. The first morning under the new rules, the old door vanished. Only grass remained, shaped like a threshold. The villagers searched fields and sheds and riverbanks. They found only the brass handle, hidden in the mayor's locked desk. Nobody asked how it got there. Nobody needed to. For a week, every door in the village opened forward, but none closed quietly. At night, hinges groaned like throats clearing themselves. Cupboards opened by themselves. Bedroom doors drifted wide. The mayor's house was worst of all. Every time he shut a door, another opened behind him. By morning, he looked as if he had slept in a storm. He carried the brass handle back to the valley before breakfast. "I kept record so I could keep power," he said to the empty grass. Nothing answered. Then he added, "And I called it order." The old door rose from the ground, silent as a tree in a dream. The mayor reached for the handle, but the door did not let him touch it. "Not yet," it whispered. "First open the doors you closed for others." So he unlocked the archive, the storehouse, the meeting hall, and the office where complaints had slept for years. By evening, the valley door stood whole again. It still opened only backward. But the villagers no longer called that strange. They learned that forward is not a direction if the road is built on buried things. When children asked what the sentence meant, the adults did not laugh. They said, it means a person can move on only after the past has somewhere on it to stand.